Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Fall for Fall. What are we calling this? Jenny, our Taste of Fall event. This
Taste
is
of fall,
actually our
yes.
cooking class tonight, everybody. I'm Pat Russell, and I'm here with two of my best buddies, and we are so excited to be able to cook for you tonight. And if you're a hostess, we want to thank you for being one of our record breaker hostesses because we could not have our biggest month of the year without you. So thank you so much. And aren't you a smart one having your party in the month of October where you can get double host credit? You know, with that $1,000 party, you can get over $400 in free Tupperware for free. Is that like blow your mind? So if you're one of our hostesses, pat yourself on the back because you had a party this month. And if you're one of our party guests and you're tuning in to see some new recipes because you love recipes, you are in the right place at the right time. You also are smart and get to pat yourself on the back because you're going to be able to see all the amazing offers that Tupperware has for Record Breaker Month. So I'm excited that you get to play with those. And if you're just someone who's tuned in and checking us out, well, we're glad you're here too, because we love to share what we do here in Tupperware. We also love to share recipes. So what's going to happen tonight? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make three different recipes, all centered around apples, one of my favorite things, because what says fall more than apples? So I want to say somebody's saying hi to us. Glad to see that. Thanks for saying hi. We love seeing people on with us. And before we do, let me tell you the recipes we're going to make. This first of all, let me introduce Lisa Cox. She's one of our directors. She's here in South Carolina with me. Lisa, what are you making tonight?
I am making apple dumplings.
Now, don't tell Norm that, my husband, because he might be driving over to your house to get some of those apple dumplings. That sounds amazing.
Yummy.
And then I'm going to be making some applesauce using our Tupperware pressure cooker because I always love a meal with pork, like pork chops or a pork loin this time of year, and just jarred applesauce just doesn't cut it. So I'm going to show you how you can make an easy applesauce in like 12 minutes. You are not going to believe this, and it's fabulous. It actually makes enough that you could freeze it. So I'll share that with you. And then we have Jenny. Jenny's our sweet one. So Jenny's going to do a sweet recipe for us. And Jenny, what are you going to do?
I am going to make a caramel apple dip that is
Ooh.
super quick and easy.
Oh, I love it. And I'm going to turn up my light a little bit here. I feel like I'm a little dark in here today. Hold on. We're going to brighten up the light. That's what's great about this house. I have lots of lights. There we go. I feel better now. Hold on. Sometimes we just change the lights. There we go.
There you go.
Turned off the under counter lights. Okay. I want to show you something before we get started. Hey, Nicole. Nicole's here with us. Nicole's one of our consultants. We're so glad she's here and watching. I hope you have some hostesses with you or some guests, Nicole. So Jenny's going to make a caramel apple dip. And of course, it's fabulous with apples, right?
Right.
And so I want to show you how you can use a Tupperware mandolin to slice the apples so everybody can dip into that wonderful dip with an apple. So I have a Granny Smith here. And I'm just going to push down. One of the things I love about my mandolin, it's so safe because you give me a sharp knife, I'm dangerous. So all I did was take the guard, which I always make sure I use, and pushed it straight down. Now it's holding on to that apple. And I've got choices here. Now, right now, my mandolin is actually set on 2.5. I made an apple pie yesterday. It's apple season. And I love to use mandolin to make apple pies. So I did about a 2.5 thickness for the apple pies. And then all those apples cook at the same time. You know how sometimes when you make a homemade apple pie and some of the apples are done and some are mushy and some are underdone and you're like, oh, well, this takes away that guesswork. But because we're going to be using it for with Jenny's dip, I want it a little bit thicker. I want that apple to have more heft. So I'm going to put it on probably 4.5. And there's choices here. I could go up to the width of an 8. So we're going to do 4.5. But I want to show you how easy this baby slices. You're not going to believe it. It's fun. It's actually fun to use. And all we do, right, how hard am I working? And look at those wonderful apple slices and look at the thickness of that apple slice. Now, I don't want to, isn't that cool? I don't want to dip a whole circle. No, we don't have to go whole circle into the apples. So I'll just take my paring knife and cut them in half. And then I could dip them in a little bit of lemon juice in water so they wouldn't turn brown, arrange them around that caramel dip, and you have a wonderful snack. So make sure you stay tuned so you see how we're going to make that apple dip. But that wasn't part of the show. I kind of just threw it in at the last minute because I wanted to show you how great it is for apples. We love our product. I use it all the time, and I love to share with you. Okay, so Lisa wanted to go first. Well, she was kind of voted to go first. So Jenny and I are going to drop off camera for a minute. And if you're watching us, go ahead and tag a friend and say, hey, come on over and watch, see what's happening. I'm going to jump off for just a minute. And we're going to let Lisa Cox, director Lisa Cox, share some things that she's doing in her kitchen. And Jenny, you get to say bye-bye too. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, see, I have the power, people. I can remove people. Boop, there goes Jenny. Oh, that removed me too. It's so hard. All right, so we're going to leave Lisa be.
Is that okay? Yeah, that looks okay.
Yeah, looks great.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I know you can't see my face, but I couldn't get my camera just right. So tonight I'm making apple dumplings. And this is really how my kitchen works, is we just kind of go with it. So I have the...
I'm sorry, Lisa. Lisa, can I ask you to turn up your volume?
I did. Let me just talk louder. Can you hear me now, Pat?
Yes, that's better.
Okay. All right. So I have the crescent rolls here, and I'm just going to open these up. And of course, my dog is over here waiting for ice cream or whatever I'm making. She ate lettuce a few minutes ago. So anyway, got the crescent rolls. I do have my apples. I may be one of those odd people that really likes the apple peeling. So I did not peel my apple. I just left them in there just the way they are. So I've got my crescent rolls, and I have one Granny Smith apple that you can see here that I have sliced and took the core out of. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to have one crescent roll here, and I'm going to take my apple. I know that's a big piece of apple there, isn't it? And I'm going to wrap it. Is that easy or what? So, and then I'm going to put it in my piece of Ultra Pro that I have here and put it right inside. So, and I'm just going to do that 8 times. So I'm an eighth of the way through with this. So then we're going to take the next apple. I cannot wait to try this. And that's a lot of times what we do in our Tupperware business. We get together as a team and we try new recipes. So that way we are always having fun with each other, doing things like that. And just like tonight, one of our other team members was going to do this, and she had something come up. So here I am. We cover for each other. They covered for me so much this past year. So again, I have another apple one there, and you can see. So I couldn't believe how big and pretty these apples were. So I'm just laying them around in my little. Oh, you can see that. So that's good. Yay. Okay. Don't you love crescent rolls? I don't know who invented these. I guess Mr. Crescent, since, Earl Tupper invented Tupperware. So we're going to wrap these up. But that was a good invention. There's so many recipes you can do with crescent rolls and things. So we are going to, and the Ultra Pro is amazing. You can put it in, it goes in the oven. Can you believe that? Tupperware actually going in the oven. So that is pretty awesome. Awesome, cool there. So this is going to be a tight little casserole. So you'll have to put in the chat if you like the apple peeling as well. I love it. It just gives you those extra vitamins. It is a lot easier to slice an apple that way too. So here we go. So I've got them all in there. And now I've also had my butter here is in our 2 cup measuring cup. And this one is a 1 cup. So it's actually called our micro pitcher set. So when you put butter in the microwave to melt it, like I did this one here, all you have to do is stick your butter inside, put the top on top of there, and stick it in the microwave. And it keeps it from splattering. You can see all the moisture is there in my cup in the top. So you don't have to worry about it all messing up and everything. So, and we will post this recipe if you'd like that. So now, We could sprinkle these with a little bit of cinnamon. And this is one of our spice shakers. This is the large spice shaker. So I'm just going to sprinkle them a little bit with some cinnamon. We'll sprinkle a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. And these are our measuring cups. And right now with I believe it's a $60 order, you can get our measuring cups for only $15. But not just the measuring cups, you get the spoons as well. So they are in the pink color, which is big this time of year in October. So I am going to add this 3/4 cups of not water, sugar. So you know this is going to be good. And then I have a tablespoon. Yep, a tablespoon and a half of flour. And if you'll see, these are our little measuring spoons. This is actually the measuring spoons that you can sit down. These are not the design we have now, but they're still the same. But just to tell you how my kitchen runs here at my house, I spilled this a few minutes ago. So I have some extra. I was wondering, what is that stuff on my countertop? So that was what it was. So let's make sure we have it all in here. So we're going to stir it. And what we're going to do with this mixture, so again, it is butter, which is always good. And then we have flour and sugar and vanilla. So I'm going to just stir this up real good. I probably should use my whisk to do this. We do have one of those. And I am going to pour it over the top of my little rolls here that I have made up. They look delicious. Can y'all? Oh yeah, y'all can see that. Doesn't that look great? Oh, did you notice that I did not put any spray or anything on this Ultra Pro? So you don't need any spray or anything like that. So it's all mixed up here. So I am just going to pour it over the top.
I have to come out. That looks so good.
It does look good, doesn't it? And I thought this was odd that they said. Someone will have to tell me why we're doing this, but it says to add 3/4 of a cup of lemon lime soda, which is Sprite. So, and I have a 3/4 of a cup around the sides, and I don't know why we're doing that, but we're gonna do it. Maybe to make a crust or something. I don't know. But we're going to add that around the sides. Okay, it's in. So now I am going into the oven for 20 minutes, I believe, at 350. So I'll see y'all back. Okay, Pat?
So, Lisa, thank you so much. I can't wait to see how that looks. It is going to come with what we've done, everybody. We have a little echo with this microphone, so I do apologize for that, everybody.
Sorry.
But now I'm going to say goodbye to Lisa while she goes and puts that in the oven. Now that's going to cook in the conventional oven, everybody. That's Ultra Pro. That goes in your regular oven. She's putting that in her regular oven, not the microwave. Tupperware that goes in the oven. Isn't that amazing? So now I get to play, and I'm going to make this applesauce for you, or for me, really, because we are going to have a pork roast this weekend because it's going to get cold here in South Carolina starting tomorrow. Okay, it's going to be 60, which means I won't be in short sleeves and my doors won't be open like they are right now. But I want to make a quick applesauce. I'm serious. If you've never made homemade applesauce and you do this recipe, your family's going to think like you worked all day on this. So all I did was, it's about a bag of apples. I might actually have done too many. I just cut them and cubed them. I didn't slice them. I didn't mess. But I am going to watch out because in your pressure, hey, I'm pretty good, my friends. This is our 12-cup Wonderlear bowl. Nope, yes, it is a 12-cup Wonderlear bowl. It says it right on the bottom. Haha, makes me look good. And I wanted to be sure when I use my pressure cooker, I never go over the max fill line. And there actually is a line here that says max. And it's real serious because one time when I first got it, being me, I said, oh, I'm Pat. I don't have to worry about that. So I was doing a pork roast, not pork roast, but a pot roast. So my pot roast was a little bigger than it should have been. So I put in my pot roast and all the vegetables and all the water, and I was above max. And I saw that I was above max. I said, it'll be fine. Well, max is there for a reason, everybody. There's amazing safeties in this Tupperware pressure cooker. So I didn't hurt anything. I just kind of made a mess. I discovered that all the safety valves that Tupperware put on this pressure cooker really work. So that was a good thing. So what I'm going to add to this, so there's all my apples and the max fill line. My friends, I am right at that line. I can't believe how good I am. That max fill line is right there. And that's where I am. And what I'm going to do is just take 3/4 cup of water. And what kind of apples did I use? Well, I went up to the apple orchard, Norm and I did about 2 weeks ago. And I got some Cortland apples, which being from the north, Cortland apples are my fave. And I got a couple other varieties that I don't really remember the names of. And I got to tell you something where I store them. Because all my apples, now my container's empty because I made applesauce here, go into the Fridge Smart. And you might say, Pat, why are you putting your apples in your Fridge Smart? The reason being is it acts like a cold cellar for my apples. So when I put my apples in and I check the chart on the side to remember what kind of air they want, and my apples don't want any air. I just know that. They don't want any air at all. So I put that slider valve all the way in the center, that closed the valve that kept the air away from them. What I love about this is I can keep my apples twice as long as I can in the rotting bin. And they still go crunch when you bite into them. Instead of an apple that you've had in the fridge maybe for a while and it still looks good, and then you bite into it and go, ooh, mush, grainy. They stay beautifully in your Fridge Smart. So I have all my apples in the Fridge Smart, and sometimes we have one that is double this size. It's actually 2 of these and it's 1 container. That's what I have downstairs. All my apples are in that. So if you'd like a container that size, make sure you let your consultant know. And when it comes back around, because everything comes back around in Tupperware eventually, they'll give you a call and let you know that it's available. But that is my favorite for the apples because it holds so many. So there's that. Now I've got to add some sugar. And my sugar is coming out of my Square 2 Modular Mate. And I got to tell you something. This Square 2 Modular Mate, the base, I've had probably for the 40 years I've been in Tupperware. I'm not kidding. The seal, I did just change. Hold on a minute. Because, yeah. I've been in Tupperware so long, my friends, I have some of these seals. These are the old Ivory Rose seals. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm switching all my seals out to black. And so this has got a brand new black seal on it. But that base is 40 years old. And it's had sugar for 40 years. And it holds 5 pounds. And I know now we have 4-pound bags. But what's great about that is when I get low on sugar, I can come home with a new bag. There's a couple inches left in the container, and I can add more. So here's the fun thing. This is just about a half cup of sugar. I might use a little bit less because that feels like a lot to me. So I might just use a little bit less. And then I'm going to put in some cinnamon. And Lisa just showed you our measuring spoons and our measuring cups. But the other cool thing that I love about them, because I don't know about you, I'm gonna bring this back here. Sometimes I forget to put things in. The grandkids run in, the phone rings, I get distracted. I see something shiny, I get distracted. And I go, did I put that in? It could be baking powder, it could be baking soda, it could be anything. And I'll stand there and look at it and try to figure it out. So now I pre-measure everything and kind of lay it out in a row. And when everything's empty, I know I did it right. It just helps my mind. Why stress about the little things if you don't have to? So there's some cinnamon. It calls for 2 teaspoons, but I really want the flavor of the apple, so I'm not going to do 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to stir it up a little bit because I want to. And then I'm going to put this cover on, and guess what? It's going to go in the microwave, in the microwave as a pressure cooker. Hold on. Got to have my spoon next. I won't make a mess on my counter. For just 10 to 12 minutes. But this is a pressure cooker. It's not going to be microwave. What's going to happen? There actually is a steel belt in here, and that's going to allow this to build up the pressure that it needs to give me the result that I want. So I'm going to put it down like this. There's actually glass. I'm sorry, guys. We have another product with a steel belt. And this one, there's glass, so it can withstand the pressure, but it's not going to break. Don't worry. So I'm going to line it up. There's an arrow here, and there's an arrow on the handle. That's what I'm looking at right now, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. And then to lock it, all I'm going to do is turn it and snap it. Now, as the pressure builds up, I'm going to be able to see that the pressure is building up, because this little valve, if I overpressure it, will open up and let out the excessive pressure. but as it works the way I want it to, this valve is going to rise up just like the pressure cooker that mom used to have on top of the stove. It's going to rise up and I'll see it jiggling because that's the pressure building up in this that is going to allow this applesauce to cook in 10 to 12 minutes. Now, I'm doing the applesauce today because when I do the pork loin, I'm going to do the pork loin in the pressure cooker in the microwave because it comes out so tender. So this is going to go in the microwave for about 10 to 12 minutes. Vanilla, I always forget vanilla. Oh yes, Nicole, you're right. Like, did I put the vanilla in? Did I not put the vanilla? And it does make a difference. Now, before this goes in the microwave, I want to share one more thing with you because I just thought of it. You know me, you guys are with me. You know, I was talking about modular mates and my sugar being in my modular mate. This square modular mate has held Ritz crackers. This is a green steel. Okay, I started Tupperware in 1983. This probably came out in 84 and 85. This is one of the original seals. It's still doing its job. This container has held Ritz crackers all through my kids' lives. And you know what's so cool to it now? Now when my grandkids walk in the house, they go to the pantry, because this one is in a low shelf where they can reach it. That's the first thing they grab when they walk in the door, is the Ritz crackers out of the same container that their parents used. Guys, that's why I love my Tupperware, because I can use it forever. So I just have to share that with you. It's not part of the cooking class. I just think it's really cool. All right, so now I'm going to pop this in the microwave, full power, 12 minutes. Now while that's cooking, we're going to have Jenny share some things with you about this wonderful caramel apple dip. Okay, so let me go over to Jenny. There you go, girl.
Hey,
Hi,
everybody.
Jenny. Oh, I'll go away so you don't hear my microwave.
Okay. Hey, everybody. So what I'm going to make, as Pat said, is a delicious caramel apple dip. And, you know, it's not just for apples because, you know, if you want to use it, I've had it on vanilla wafers or graham crackers. It's super yummy. It's so good that I even sometimes will sneak a spoonful if I'm going to the fridge for something else because it's just that delicious and easy. Oh my goodness. So what I've got here is our Whip and Mix Chef, which is a hand-powered mixer. See the little fingers? I already put 8 ounces of cream cheese that's softened in the bottom. And so the Whip and Mix has 2 settings. It's got first gear and second gear. So first gear is where you always want to start, but you can tell it's got cream cheese in it. It's pretty dense. So you're going to go to second gear so it's engaging more of the gears in here and turn. And you can see that it does that really well. So what we need to do now is add in the brown sugar. So I have my brown sugar right here in, again, modular mate. Can you tell we all love our modular mates? I have mine in the square 3, and yes, it's large for the amount of brown sugar I have, but that's on purpose because I can take our measuring cup, and I need a cup of it. I can push right up against the side, and that's going to give me a level measure without having to use anything else, and I'm not making a mess of sugar all over the counter. Because trust me, I can make a mess on my own. I don't need to have extra ways to make the mess. So I'm going to take, see, the cream cheese is in there. I'm going to put 1 cup of brown sugar in there. I didn't promise this would be healthy, but it's delicious. Then you're just going to whip it up. Super easy and simple. The kids can do this. It's left-handed or right-handed. You can see it's got a grip here for holding. There are a couple of teeth there. That's what you want to make sure are hooked in so you can do this. And like with any mixer, you're going to want to scrape down the sides to make sure you're getting everything in. So I did that. Scrape that up a little bit. This is just quick to whip up. Like, you know, the kids come home after school and they want something sweet. It's a packet of cream cheese and a cup of cream sugar, cup of brown sugar. And then we're going to add, if I don't spill it first, like Pat said, pre-measure, because I do the same thing. I forget ingredients all the time. 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. So it's 3 ingredients. That's all. And whip it up. And what's great with the Whip and Mix is, like I said, kids can help in the kitchen, and if they get distracted and they go to turn with the mixer, it's not going to keep spraying food all over the kitchen. This is fun to take camping because you don't need power for it. It's super easy. And voila. How quick was that? And like I said, so yummy. You can dip the apple slices like Pat made in this. I keep it in the fridge in one of our freezer mates after I've made it. It's also great for dipping cookies in. Pretzels are yummy in it. If you want something kind of sweet and salty, you can do pretzels. So many options. So if you're like, you got a potluck at work all of a sudden and you didn't remember to make something, whip this up. Literally seconds and it's ready to go. You slice up your apple and you're good.
And it tastes so good. It is so fabulous. Now, Jenny, how long do you think you could store that in the fridge?
I usually store it at least a week.
At least a week. So isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
What a fun dessert when you want something sweet, but you don't want like the cake or the brownies or maybe even the apple pie. It gives you that sweet, but you've also got your fruit with it too.
It does.
Ginger cookies are really good with it too. The little hard ginger snaps.
Oh, yes. Good idea.
They're fabulous. And come back next time. We'll show you how to make your own cinnamon pita chips.
Mm-hmm. Those are yummy with this.
Yeah,
So
I love it. Well, Jenny, thank you so much. I want some of that. That's one of our favorites. When I make that here, Norma's like, where is that dip you make? It is, it is just wonderful. And you're being asked, well, Susan asked us what we put it on, and we shared what we put it on. So that's good. So now I know mine's still cooking. So I'm going to show you something, and then we'll bring Lisa back on to share with you her recipe if it's done. We went kind of fast tonight. This went faster than we expected.
we were fast.
We were
This recipe is so quick that it took no time. You know?
So we're gonna say goodbye to Jen for a minute, and I'm gonna talk to our hostesses about something that you can have. Talking about apples. If you love to make an apple bread, here's something you could bake it with. Lisa showed you the Ultra Pro that she's doing her apple dumplings in. Well, as a hostess right now, you could take the Whippin' Mix or the Whippin' Prep. I always forget its proper name. It doesn't matter. Let's look. The Whippin' Mix Chef and the Ultra Pro Loaf Pan. This also comes with a cover that I happen to have, but I didn't grab it out tonight. I do apologize. But to make your apple bread in the conventional oven, this is where you're going to be able to bake it. It's going to go in the oven, probably 350 for bread, 325, and it's going to pop right out. Because of this, you don't have to grease it. You don't have to worry about it. But you might say, well, I don't make bread all the time. Do I really need that? Let me give you a couple other ideas for it. If you have a smaller family, like it's just us, it's just Norm and I, the cat doesn't eat it. Lasagna. You can make a small lasagna in here for 2 or 3 people, or, one meal and one plan over meal. Instead of making them 9 by 13, make it in here. It'd be wonderful. If you love layered ice cream desserts, so you take the sugar cookie and crush it in the bottom and the layers of ice cream. And what I suggest you do, you're going to laugh at me, but you can take your ice cream when that carton's down to just a little bit and everybody wants to open the new one. Take one of your Tupperware freezer containers and put it in there. So take that 2 inches of ice cream, whatever it was, put it in the freezer container, pop it back in the freezer, open up your new container. Just keep layering all these different flavors of ice cream. And then you can scoop it into this container. You've got a layer of sugar cookies. That's going to be your base. And what you're going to do is crush them with this little guy, the layers of ice cream. Then you can crush more. Sometimes I even use Oreo cookies, more Oreo cookies over the top of it. And even take a caramel dip or a caramel sauce and put it over the top of it, or even just a chocolate fudge sauce. And you have a really, really easy dessert. And because of this material, it'll be frozen solid. Let it sit on the table for a couple of minutes. Take your spatula and just run around the edges. And then you can invert it onto a plate. And if it's being stubborn, here's a trick. Just take a towel that you've warmed up, put it around it for a second. That'll make that ice cream drop right out onto your plate, and you slice it. Back in the day, it used to be called, remember Friendly's ice cream? It used to be the Friendly's ice cream log they came out with every holiday season. Well, you can make your own in here. So I really would love to make sure that everybody has one of these. Only way you can get it is right now. be a hostess, a $500 party and 2 datings here to get it free. So I have about 3 minutes left on mine. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next is when it comes out, I'm actually going to take our Power Chef and I'm going to put that hot applesauce in here and I'm going to whip it because I want it to be kind of smooth. I like mine a little chunky because that means it's homemade. But if you like it really smooth, like it's in the jar, all you're going to do is put this baby in here like this, lock it down, and pull this out. And it's going to whip it the way I want. Now, we can freeze it. Let me see something here. We're in my own kitchen, everybody. Oh, there's none here. They're all in the freezer. Okay. This is what we're going to do. This actually has blueberries in it, guys, from my own kitchen. This size freezer mate, I love. So when I have the big bag of berries, this is what's in here because I love the berries, blueberry muffins, and all that good thing. Like to cook. But with the homemade applesauce, I can freeze it in here because it freezes beautifully. So I can make it up while it's apple season and then go ahead and put it in the bigger containers or even some of the smallers if it's just going to be Norma 9. This is the size I would use if the family was here for dinner. But it's a wonderful way to be able to make it and freeze it. And did you know your freezer is going to operate more efficiently if it's full? So if you've got a half-empty freezer, you want to fill it up because it's going to run better. Okay. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to share with you while I'm waiting? That's got a minute left. Let's go back to Lisa, and I'm going to come off camera and see if she's done. And Lisa, if you're not, it's okay because we can do something else. I'm going to go back there. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, it's not done yet. but
Not
it-
done yet. How much time do you have?
But it is smelling so good. Let's see, 5 minutes.
Okay, so everybody, what we're going to do, I'm going to bring Jenny back up. And we'll post some pictures of Lisa's dessert and my applesauce for you so y'all can see it. But next week, we're going to be doing pumpkins. So come back again next week and see our next 3 recipes that are all about fall and pumpkin. We will post the recipes. I want to thank Lisa and I want to thank Jenny for helping me out tonight. My applesauce is almost done, but then it has to be pressurized. So I might even put that out myself and just show it to you real quick. But I want to thank you all for helping us. And we had some fun. We love to share. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.